Hello all and welcome back. We are just about ready to begin Season 2, but as promised, we've made some adjustments. You can already notice in the background some of the colors that the team is wearing has changed up a little bit. But I'm going to give a little preview of the way the team is looking for the start of Season 2. We are going to trim back pretty considerably procedurally. Just a lot of the introductory conversation pieces from the AI, from the game itself. It's built in like pre-race, pre-qualifying stuff. They typically they start to say the same thing kind of over and over and over, and it takes up time, and it's just not very interesting. So we'll be for Season 2, get more directly into the action. But before we head to Australia for the first round of the season, let me give you guys a quick look at the Season 2 Challenger. We've retained Xenon as our title sponsor. And as such, we've now built a livery that's a little bit more appropriate for that. So let's head over to Race Gear. And there you can see the new car. So we've kept the orange and blue, or orange and, what was that, mint kind of green of the Booty Radio colors that we had last year. But instead of that white, we've now brought in the Xenon Dynamics pink to go with it. And so we've got a livery that is a little bit more of that. So the gray has also come in thanks to Xenon. We'll jump and we can fly around, and you can see we've kind of tweaked sponsor placements in order to give someone, and I probably won't change this as much throughout the season. So you'll see a more consistent car race to race, so get familiar with where things are. Hopefully lots of people are watching Octonic all year and looking at the back end of that rear wing. But we've got a couple, we've got Monomic and AVAX on the rear wing. We got the double Xenons there. Got the Venus right on the top side of the side pod. Avolo, AVAX, Artemis on the front. We've got the Xenon logos on the front wing. They kind of blend in there a bit with that teal. And then we've got the Xenon in white on the side just because of the color. Can't usually really use the colored versions of the Xenon logos. They didn't quite match it. So we got a lot of white logos on here. And you can see P-Metric is a new sponsor, as is Spation right underneath the inlet there. But that is going to be the change. A little bit of a tweak to the number style as well. Going to look a little different, but this is indeed our Challenger. And we've gone from the matte to the glossy finish as well on the paint job. So should look nice and fancy. But I will see you guys as we head to Australia to start the season. We'll be back after practice. Okay, with the practices done, we are here ready to head into qualifying in Australia. Of course, before we do that, though, take a look. Obviously, we had Lewis Hamilton retire at the end of last season, so that's surely put some driver changes on the market. We are looking at a dry forecast. There was rain in FP1 and FP3, so we did have some limited running time. But also, when it comes to drivers, we do have... what's the word I'm looking for? Driver icons are on. That's how we have Joshua Pierce on there. That also means you may see some historic F1 names out there. So we're going to head to the standings page and just go down the list, and we'll see Max Verstappen in the Red Bull as expected. Leclerc in the Ferrari still. Lando Norris has moved over to Mercedes. Yuki Tsunoda remains in that Red Bull seat. Oscar Piastri in McLaren. George Russell has moved over to Ferrari, taking Lewis Hamilton's seat. Antonelli still in Mercedes. Carlos Sainz at Williams. Fernando Alonso continues on with Aston Martin. Albon, Williams, Gasly, Alpine. No changes there. You've got Ocon in the Haas. Bortoleto in the Sauber. Doohan in Alpine. Behrman in Haas. Liam Lawson in VCarb. Lance Stroll in Aston Martin. That's all the same there. Nico Hulkenberg in the Sauber. Isaac Hadjar still in the VCarb. And driver icon returning to McLaren, Ayrton Senna. So should be interesting to see. I haven't looked at all at the car performances, so we're going kind of blind into this first session of the season. I don't think we can get to that from any of these menus, but a couple driver moves around there. A lot of the grid stayed the same, but notably Norris to Mercedes, Russell to Ferrari, and Senna to McLaren. So let's get over into qualifying and get underway.
And a warm welcome, everybody. We're here in the heart of Melbourne. It's Albert Park, and it's qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix.
And here we are with only a few corners left in this out lap for our first qualifying session of the season. You get a new view, or your first look at the new top-down view of the car, the halo that you'll be seeing all season. Very different, much more shiny compared to the matte finish of last year. And also, you'll notice on the mini-map, we are now, myself and Joshua, more of a pink-colored icon, as opposed to the orange that we had last season. And that's really going to hold up a lot of time, which, because the primary color of the car has changed, that icon will also change color. I think it's better because it's the orange tended to get kind of mixed up with the McLarens quite a bit, and now it's just going to be easier to see. We lost a lot of time into turn one there, but we'll see if we can lay down some good sector times for the remainder of the lap, give ourselves some kind of baseline to compare against. We're coming up on another car who is on their out lap. They at least got out of the way. They didn't park in a high speed area of the track. Third sector has always been a bit of a challenge for me around Australia. Never quite get it dialed in the way I'd like to. We are quick in the middle sector. We're running a pretty low downforce setup. But a 17.2 is not the worst, considering how impeded we were, although Verstappen goes into the 15s. Sitting in provisional P16 after the first run's got a lot of work to do in this one. So let's get underway, see if we can't improve on a lap here. We found about 3.5 tenths based on what we lost from the block last time, so. Ooh, a little wide there, that's going to cost us a fair bit of momentum. Let's really hustle it through this middle sector here. A little too aggressive on the throttle. Back end stepped out just a bit. Just about enough power. We're going to find about 7 tenths on that lap. Puts us a lot closer to our teammate, but I still think we're a few tenths off of him even for middle of the pack. All right, here we go. Last run of qualifying. Sitting provisional P11 behind our teammate, which is not a bad spot. Definitely time to find in turn 4 and turn 10, I want to say, is what that corner is. Well, let's make sure we get a good start to the lap here, huh? Pretty good run off the final corner. Now let's open it up strong. Much better run through there. That should have found us a little bit of time. Very good speed through there. Up about 3/10. Need to save some battery. We've burned a lot of it to start, so we are going to give up a little bit of time here. About a 10th. A lot of time gained because we didn't have that big wheel spin. From deep in the corner, good launch there. Got battery to get us to the line. 4.5 tenths nearly found on that final lap. Gets us to P10. The question is, does it get us past our teammate, or did he also improve and we've overtaken somebody else?
With qualifying complete, all that remains now is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
Lando Norris on pole position. We did move up to 10th. Joshua Pierce shuffled down to 13th, so no real improvement for him there, I don't think. Let me see. Did he just not improve? He did improve, but only by 200ths. We were 200ths from finding another position off of Esteban Ocon, but first qualifying of the season into the top 10 is not a bad start.
Months of rumour and speculation all come to an end today as we return to racing for the opening event of what promises to be an enthralling season. Welcome along then to round one of this year's Formula One World Championship. We go racing today then in the state of Victoria, where the drivers have 14 corners and 3.28 miles to navigate at an average lap speed of around 120 miles per hour. The close proximity of the barriers make accidents inevitable, and recent history shows us that a safety car is not at all out of the question. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Senna, Antonelli, Charles Leclerc and Piastri, Tsunoda, Ocon, Martins and Jack Doohan, Sainz, Pierce, Pierre Gasly and Russell, Lawson, Hülkenberg, Fernando Alonso and Alex Albon, Bortoletto, Behrman, Stroll and Isaac Hadjar rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
We're in the unknown. I don't really want to try and push a bad tire. Well, what about if we go hard medium on the one stop? I think that actually might be the better choice. We'll get undercut. We'll have the better tire. Either way, we're doing some overtaking. Let's go two stop. Let's roll the dice. Looks like there was some people taking either grid penalties or engine penalties because we're up in P9 now. Decent hop off the line. Got a position up on Ocon. I think we're going to have to just kind of settle in at the moment because we got 2x2 in front of us. And no real window to work there. So, up a spot, safe start. Ocon on the hard tires didn't get a great launch, not a surprise. Okay, one track limits warning. Heavy fuel caught me out a bit there. already fallen away from the cars ahead, which is not good news. The real question is already, did we qualify top 10 because the car is decent and we can compete with these guys, or did I just have a lap that kind of worked out and now the top group is going to run away? 'Cause it's starting to seem like column 2. Well, we might just be in no man's land at the moment. Gasly and Ocon side by side. That's that hard tire dropping back. 2 track limits warnings. They're lapping in the 18. Well, yeah, we're like a second and change off their top pace. And that was nearly a 3-second penalty already. Okay, finding at least a little bit of a rhythm. This will be an easy pass for Gasly. Not going to fight it at this stage of the race. Let's see if we can attach to him and conserve some fuel and catch this other group. Yellow flags behind. Big pile up in turn 3, it looks like. We've gotten it cleared, but there's a big gap of cars now. Let's take this opportunity here to start saving a bit of this fuel. I think the fuel calculations were not quite correct based on practice, but that's fine. Use some of this battery. We're in hot lap, so. So we're pretty competitive with them through the middle part of the lap here. The idea is let's try to be in front of Gasly here. Because I think George is definitely going to get a run and put some pressure on him. Oh, Totally missed the breaking point there. Managed to keep it on track, though. That's what's important. George having pressure. I think he's going for the move. Yep, George has got the move done. So now he's going to pull up to the back of me pretty quick, I would assume. But the idea now is going to be, when he gets by me, just try and be connected to him. He's got the run. We aren't going to fight it, much like we did with Gasly. Ooh, that was a lot of dirty air there. Question is, will I be close enough to him to pick his DRS? I think we did. Had to use some battery to do it, but now let's get stuck in. We can let him pull us away from Gasly a bit. Then that would be the good news. He's quick. Way quicker than us. That Ferrari is a beast. I thought we'd be a little closer in overall pace, but I guess not. Good stop. Good entry. All right. It's going to be a mess right ahead of us. Got to get clear of this group. A good stop from the team. Got us ahead. Now we've got a tire advantage on this group, so we should be able to start running away from them. And clean air is going to do us nicely. Kind of what we want for this 2-stop is nothing but clean air till our second pit stop. Okay, should be able to get the job done around the outside here. We got the extra grip of the newer tires. Job is done there. Let's open the gap. Would have been perfect to be able to get him into turn 1, but the AI is just so good off of the final corner compared to me that I would need even more of a tire advantage than that to even try it. So it's worth just taking the smooth move. You do have to keep in mind, I think I've still got my 2 warnings for track limits. We did a 20.3. Driver in front.
Hulkenberg ahead. Okay, gap to the car ahead, 1.6 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 12 laps old. Time last lap, 1 minute, 22.9. We think they've got one more stop.
Getting close to the one-stoppers. When they'll be coming in. Let's get around him. Lined him up at just the right spot. Perfect. Use a fair bit of battery. Set a purple middle sector in the process. Good to get by him there. We didn't want to be behind him for as long as we could. All right, Joshua's into the pits.
Joshua's coming in for his stop.
So that'll shuffle us back up to P11. That was our personal best lap of the race. Now we got clean air. We can gradually recharge some battery here. Okay, not going to be able to get him down the pit straight. But we can use that little bit of lift and coast, carry momentum through mid-corner. Up the inside. We got the better tire, and job is done on that one. Wasn't as clean as the Lawson overtake. But room to go. Ooh, another yellow flag. Oscar Piastri out. 2 DNFs now, huh? And there he is. Okay, he's off by a marshal post as well. Whew. Good lap to come in because the tire's definitely starting to struggle a bit. All right. Let's get in. Let's have a good lap. Let's try and get back to the points. Does not let Ocon attack. It's going to be the key here. And then we should be able to start stretching away on our soft tires. There you go, Joshua. Actually helps me out quite a bit. Big old dive. Ooh, he shut the door on me a bit there. Little contact side by side. His nose is still in. Got to give him the space. But we do have the grip to hang it out around the outside. No problem. Now we got our teammate ahead. And this should be a pretty straightforward one. We've got plenty of grip and a run. And the DRS. All right. 9.6 seconds to go chase down Pierre. Can we get back to Gasly? Another fastest middle sector of the race. We are clear of DRS from our teammate behind us. Little mistake over the grass there. That's going to cost me important time. I'm going to be just outside of reach. Big slide starting the end of the final lap. Or starting the final lap, but I think we're just about going to run out of time and distance to catch Pierre Gasly. Fuel is marginal. We're going to go for it, even if we got to limp across with in low fuel mode. But I think that last little wheel spin there is going to be curtains for our opportunity, because we will not have DRS here. Boy, did we just slide like crazy. Lando Norris takes the first win of the season. Ocon has gotten past Joshua to push him out of the points. And that's it. We are going to just about come up a little short of being able to get back past Pierre Gasly. It was a good chase down. But I have to save, make sure we don't run out of fuel on the way in. The tires just on those last two laps, not quite enough grip left in the rears. Had some big slides and some oversteers that kept us from getting there. Two-stop worked out decently. A P9 to P9 kind of day.
All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Here's the checkered flag. The fans rise to their feet. It's Lando Norris for victory.
To take the win at the first race of the season, now that is important. You get straight in to your competitor's head, and they now know that you are the one to beat.
Only three can take to the podium, and here they come. He holds the trophy aloft, and why shouldn't he? A richly deserved win today for Lando Norris. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.
Lando Norris with a strong victory. The McLarens were looking good until I think Oscar's blew up. Joshua just couldn't quite hang on until the very end. He actually slipped behind Carlos Sainz at the very end as well. Ocon got that final points paying position. We ended up basically where we started, P9 to P9, so not bad on the two-stop. Leclerc, a pretty solid job on the two-stop as well. Piastri and Alonso, the retirements for this one. I mean, not much to look at. Well, we'll still look at the standings because we can look at the constructors. So, obviously, Lando Norris leading the drivers. Mercedes with a 35-point weekend, though. So, very solid there. Ferrari, P2, McLaren, all just Senna's points. And we are P6. So, not quite best of the rest, but we should be in a good fight with Alpine throughout the year, I think is the way it's going to shape up. Verstappen was P7, so the Red Bull doesn't look to be as good as it is as Verstappen is trying to defend his title. But let's head on back to the factory and we'll get back in the swing of the season.
Sorry to disturb. Need you for a moment, please, boss?
Already have some stuff. What do we got? Celebrity visit. Morale drops. It's fine. Durability isn't that important. Short run for the next weekend, so nothing we can do there. We can just about do some fan rating gain. Messages. Yep, got that. Williams rivalry carried over from last year. Now we just need to get to 30 points, I think. So two on the board there. I haven't checked. Should have stuff just kind of in development. Yeah, 10 days left. Nothing available to develop in there. We did complete some research, which is lovely. Nothing new to develop or to research there. How are our developments working? I think most of our developments are gonna be a few weeks out. Yeah, 16 days for those. Nothing for the chassis. Yeah, 7 and 16. So we'll get the cylinder head before the third race in Japan. Let's go ahead and, oh, we got something here. What do we got? Sponsor negotiation. Love it. Facility improvements. 2 days till that one's done. Let's get another one on the way. I think this 151 is the cheapest. Still got some time left for the rest of our departments to get their stuff done. But advance.
Hey, Chief. We've got multiple parts out of research. Don't forget to develop them. We've got performance sitting on the table that we could be getting into the car.
Yep, but we've got no development slots open. Okay, so we've opened up another facility improvement slot. What do we got? 6855 audience expansion. Let's take a quick look. I know we raised... So my goal this season is to not replace where any of the sponsors are, but if we unlock new decals for them, cool. Okay, so the only things that changed was, let's go to the, where's the nose? There we go. You can see we got a different version of the Monomic logo. It's got that cool little outlining. And we've got, where's my rear wing? We can do the same on the rear wing, so that's the only updates to the car. Ooh, gurney flap. Sorry, getting distracted. Okay, back it out. And that will be it for round 1 of the season. We're headed to China next. Thank y'all for joining me as we get underway for season 2. Catch you guys next time. Peace.